You are listening to FOARaw. From 4 Fields of Anfield Road. The world's international LFC podcast.
You're my baby, through the bad nights to the brighter days. I know that something good is waiting just around the corner. There's a new day dawning, there's a new life for us. Got to keep on holding on for just a little longer. I know that it's gonna be blue skies for you and I. We'll step out of the shadows and walk into the light. Yeah, it's gonna be blue skies for you and I. But my heart beats slow as the storm carries on up high and the clouds roll by.
Finding space, crosses towards Sturridge, who's arriving. Just couldn't keep the effort down. And there's Matip with a jump. Oh, the referee's giving it against him. Given a penalty, isn't it? Well, the referee's coming across and he's shown a yellow card here to the Huddersfield captain, Tommy Smith, and Liverpool have been given a penalty. Important moment, saved by the goalkeeper. Henderson with a follow-up. And it's a big, big moment for Huddersfield Town and for Yunus Lössl. And it's going to come to Sturridge! Well, Liverpool find a way through. And it's Daniel Sturridge. That's a lovely ball in behind. And that's Firmino. That is some clearance to get the ball away from Zanka. Milner's corner. Oh, it's in, it's Firmino. He stuck in where no one else was. And Liverpool quickly put things right. Salah, great turn. Very, very unlucky. Huddersfield Town have not had a shot yet in this game. They have now from Ince, and it's over the top. Salah. Wijnaldum. Still Gini Wijnaldum. Lovely goal.
Pressure was there. That's there's no doubt about that, and so you could see the people. I could even hear it. People didn't like the first half too much. I know it's hard work. It's not at the end. Nobody remembers probably the first half because the second half was then really it was much better, and so helped a lot today. 3 goals, 3 points, clean sheet, very, very important.
Welcome to FOARaw. FOARaw is an official podcast of 4 Fields of Anfield Road. We are at www.FOARsite, that's FOARsite.com, a great international community of Reds. And welcome to this show titled Welcome to the State of May. I'm not alone on this show, of course. I have several guests with me. Say hi, Hamir.
Hi guys, good evening.
And say hi, a very alliterative name as well. Say hi, Amir.
Good evening, friends.
Say hi, Adi.
Hey guys, good to be back.
Yeah, good to have you back again, man. When was the last time we had you on the show? A long time, right?
Yeah, I think I've managed to miss quite a few thanks to traffic, so it's good to be on.
Okay, very good to have you back on finally. And my good friend and fellow lesbian, Shibasis Roy.
Excuse me? What was that? I mean, seriously? This is going out to the World Wide Web.
World Wide Web?
World.
What is the world? What is a World Wide Web? It's like such a dated concept. World Wide Web. Twitter. It's called Twitter.
As it is, I'm tired of feigning off requests. I'm married, please.
As I said in the WhatsApp group earlier, this is an episode of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. So who's the Butch in this relationship?
Oh, for Christ's sake, I'm
Let's
not
let's
gonna
move
even
on.
answer
Let's
that.
move on. Let's move on. Okay. Great. Great to have you guys on the show. Thank you for joining me, and thank you, listeners, for joining us and listening to us. I have no idea why you are listening to us and putting yourself through this torture, but we appreciate your your listens anyway. Okay, so are we approaching blue skies? Have we turned a corner? Have we come out of the darkness into wonderful, glorious light? Or is it meh? Hamir.
It's too early to judge, man. It's just one game, and it was against a promoted side, which you expect to beat. If we manage to string good results in the next, couple of weeks, then we'll see. But right now, it's just one game. If we had lost,
That's a
then
different story,
there would
right?
be,
Yeah.
But it's just one game, so meh for me right now.
It's meh for you. Hamir, I had you on the fan speak, at the pre game fan speak, together with Billy, and it was I think we had a very good chat, and we looked at we talked about a couple of things, explored a couple of things there. Okay, so you saw the game. Was it meh or was it yay for you?
It was kind of meh only. We got a lucky break with the mistake from Tommy Smith, so yeah, it was kind of meh. And then we stepped it up a notch. So
Yeah.
you can still look for some middle ground between meh and a turning around point. So there's some middle ground there.
Some middle ground, okay. So middle ground is maybe we could go to the guy who did the commentary for the day. Maybe Adi, you can. Do you have a middle ground, a meh yay, or yay meh, or whatever that is? How did you see this game, Adi?
I'm just glad we won, to be honest. Because, I was
Relief,
I was
okay.
doing the game. I was doing the game commentary, and I didn't want to sit through 90 minutes of a game of drudgery. So I'm glad we won, and I got to see 3 goals. So that was yay.
Okay.
However, I think it was still 15 minutes of drudgery, so still had to put up with that. So I don't know. I don't see a middle ground. I'm still quite negative at the moment. Until we put a few results together back to back. And I'm not saying Maribor. I mean, Maribor is, well, they're Maribor. They're not a Premier League standard club. So until we have a few good results back to back in the Premier League, I think I'm going to be negative for the moment.
Okay, you put yourself out there saying that. Okay, Shibo.
I would, I'm kind of in the middle, not quite ecstatic that we have won, because that's
Really?
not how it should be. And
Okay.
not quite May yet. I mean, it's a win, a
Yeah.
regulation win. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
And that's it. Move on. Get a couple of good results for the next 2 games. Then I'll be ecstatic.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing for all 4 of you is May, and I think actually even for me it's kind of May, and it's the same. It seems to be the case, and I've spoken to a couple of Reds. I mean, even on our website as well in the comment section. If you haven't visited our website, again, it's www.FOARsite.com. A great comment section as well. Level-headed guys, not crazy stuff in there. But even from there, and also in various social media platforms, it seemed very much like a muted response to the 3 points. So I posted a poll, as I like to do to get a feeling on the ground. Yesterday, close to 450 votes. Okay, and I said, how do you feel? And I had 3 responses there. It was a great result. Second option was met minimum expectation. And the last option was not very excited. 47% said it was a great result. So, yay. But 38% was meh, as in it met minimum expectation. And 15% not very excited. So, I don't know whether they were watching the game or not, or watching something else. But it seemed to me that, I don't know, I'm not sure why the meh is coming in. Is it because of the first half, or is it because of this stop-start nature, win, lose, draw, win, lose kind of thing, stop-start, not really seeing any progress? Is that the meh part, or what is it exactly, Amir?
It's got to do with the results. I mean, we haven't been consistent since the start of the season. The only thing we're consistent with is Lovren bashing right now. Apart from that, I mean, there's still some anger from the summer transfer window as well, I think. Because every time, we have a negative results, then, those positive guys come along and say, just wait till Coutinho is back or Lallana is back or when Mane is back.
Yeah.
But that's why you build this squad, right? You win this game despite not having your best players. So there's some, some sort of disappointment in that field as well.
Yeah.
Plus, as I said, results. It's a results business, man. I mean, we can blame it on bad luck, we can blame it on injuries, but still we have to get it through. And we haven't been convincing enough in games to be ecstatic. If we are playing well, we are playing well in every game. We are passing it around nicely, but there's no end product in the end. So that's something that we are just not confident going into every game that we are going to win.
Okay.
That's the biggest problem, I think, for me right now. Because even as whenever we do this WhatsApp, you say that what's your prediction, and everyone is like on the fence, or I'll go with a 1-0 win. No one is convincing enough to say that convinced enough to say that we want to win, we are going to thrash sides and this and that. Now we have come to the stage where we'll take a 1-0 win.
Not against not against Maribor though. Maybe it's a 7-0.
I'm still a bit skeptical right now about that Maribor game.
Oh, really?
Despite getting that 7-0 win, I mean, they'll be better prepared, I think, now.
Okay. Not sure about that. Okay. Obviously, you hit the big word there, which is the C word, consistency. And Klopp has reflected on this, and he said that that now we have to find the consistency, and he has faith in his players' ability to perform at the highest levels, but admits finding consistency is the next step in the development of this team. He goes on to say that sometimes we played wonderful football, but we need to be lucky. We haven't had too much luck so far. That's the truth, but you cannot ask for luck. You have to work until the luck happens. Today it clicked. And he goes on to say, this is an interesting bit that he said, okay? The problem is that here, the moment things don't work out, we get compared with the past, okay? And then he goes on to say, what you said before the season is immediately the truth. We need to fix the defense, etc. Yeah, but it's the middle of the season. We can only fix it in the training pitch. Okay, so there's a little bit of a head scratchers here for me, especially this bit about it's the middle of the season. We can only fix it on the training pitch, and then here on before that about we have to find the consistency. Hamir, how do you reconcile this thing about trying to fix it in the middle of the season versus, hey, you should have done a big fix in the transfer window, and now you're just reaping the effects of that lack of activity in that.
I was hoping you don't say rewards. I was expecting you to say rewards. Yes. So actually, somewhat he's right. Right now, the only option he has is on the training field. But it's his fault. I think he won't accept it publicly, but he knows it's his stubbornness that's put us in this position and the lack of alternatives. A friend of mine, long time, I think as soon as the deadline day ended, he's put out a very good tweet. He said, alternatives is a word that nobody at LFC knows anything about. So, yeah, but right now we can't do anything about it, and we have to wait till January. So we have to hope for improvement on the training pitch and consistency. He's right about that, but it's up to him. But the thing I think I agree with him on is whenever something goes bad, we're compared with the past, and and it's quite right, because defense, it always get compared to Benitez. Like, he's not improved from Rodgers. Benitez would have done better. Houllier this, Shankly that, Dalglish, Paisley that. So Klopp is, I think, irritated with that. He wants to build his own legacy, and he's tired of all the comparisons and wants respite from all that, but which he won't get obviously with the magnitude of the club. But he's quite right about the past and the form thing.
I'm not so sure whether it's due. Of course, yes, agree. The magnitude of the club and the expectations of the fans of the club because of its magnitude. But I think it's more than that, isn't it, Adi? We, all of you guys, me, a lot of fans, I'm assuming, have been here far longer than Jurgen Klopp. So therefore, we have actually seen a lot of shit. So there's a lot of this defensive, the issues related to defense, for example, as one isolated thing to look at, has been there for the longest time. And then Klopp says, the problem is here that the moment things don't work out, we get compared with the past. Well, of course he can compare with the past because we saw it all. So, is this a fair statement to make by Klopp? And is it fair to do the comparison, Nadi?
I mean, I don't think it's completely fair, right? Because it's a benchmark. What do you benchmark against? I mean, the only thing you benchmark against is the past. I mean, there have been times where we've been absolutely brilliant with our defense. There have been times we've been absolutely rubbish. We've seen it all, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's fair of him to say that we're being compared to the past. I mean, fans are going to compare to what we've seen in the past and what we've seen as benchmarks. I mean, it's like looking back and saying, hey, we've won titles in the past. It's not fair to compare and say that, hey, we're going to win titles now. No, absolutely not. I'm going to look back and say, hey, we've won title in the past. There's no reason why we shouldn't look forward to winning a title in the future. So
yeah.
I don't think he's absolutely, justified in saying so. I think, I mean, I've always loved Klopp since the moment he's come, but I think his press conferences, I've stopped watching them recently because they've become a bit more defensive and a bit more paranoid over the past couple of weeks. Okay. I think he's really starting to feel the pressure. I really hope he turns it around, but I'm getting a weird stink about his press conferences, which I'm not enjoying too much.
Okay. Strong words there. Shibo, I'm just reading this comment here by Keith on this article where it says Klopp now we have to find consistency, and Keith actually wrote a very good comment here. He said, consistency starts with the manager rewarding players for the form they are in and not protecting others when they have a dip in form. It sends the wrong message to the squad if certain players are untouchable yet still play even when they are not performing. Klopp needs to rotate players and keep everyone hungry, on their toes, with the understanding that if they don't deliver, they will start on the bench. How Lovren was in the starting lineup until he got injured is mind-blowing, and it is a sad indictment of Klopp's management if, despite the howlers, he still prefers Lovren to Klavan. And that's only half of the comment, but I'm just going to stop there. Now, I'm just going to link it up to, again, another question that I had asked earlier, post-Spurs and post the howlers of Lovren and Mignolet. And I asked if Klopp didn't bench Lovren, would he be demonstrating some inconsistency in his leadership with regards to how he would handle that versus how he handled Moreno when he took Moreno out of the firing line? So we talked about this, okay, in the fan speak. Hamir was there. So is this part of this consistency, and then how do you reconcile consistency with giving these players a chance to redeem?
Well, I read an article after the Spurs debacle that even though Lovren has been so pathetic, so disgraceful, and it was a complete disaster, but Klopp should not drop him for the next game. And the whole idea was that you will still need Lovren for the rest of the season because our squad isn't strong enough, and we don't really have defensive reinforcements at the moment.
Yeah.
So you don't shatter his confidence because he had one, admittedly a disastrous game, but at the same time, you can count on him not to have such bad performance twice consecutively.
Okay.
So it's okay to pick him for the next game, which is Huddersfield, and we have seen that. But well, it didn't quite work out.
Yep.
But I don't understand this. I as much as I buy what the article is trying to say, but Lovren's inconsistencies have been, far too often now, and it's getting difficult to ignore them. And the trouble is, and it frustrates me as it is frustrating to multitude of fans, that we don't have backup. We just don't have that luxury of picking someone out of the squad who can fill in the void. Klavan is there, but Klavan is not someone who is going to give you 5 straight games. It won't happen. He will have one good game. He may not have a bad game the next time on, but you can't be certain of that. So it again comes down to the summer business that was done.
Or wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, or the lack of the business. Why didn't we go for another centre back? I mean, do we believe that we can get Van Dijk in January and we didn't want to spend the extra money?
To be fair, we needed 2. We needed 2 centre backs, actually.
At least one. It just makes sense to get at least one. And Lovren is a strange case for me. Back in 2014, when I was watching him play in the World Cup against Brazil, Brazil scored a goal and it was Lovren's mistake. And I said then that this is a crunch match, World Cup, the highest possible platform a footballer can have. He couldn't perform. He didn't perform. And I wrote then that I don't want him in Liverpool, because you may say that it's one mistake. Well, it's one mistake at the highest stage. You need better players at Liverpool. And look, he has proven us that you need better players at Liverpool. And Lovren is not one to, get us somewhere. I don't think that it's working.
Okay,
it's just not.
I think Lovren and Matip, when they're both fit and they've played together, generally speaking, they've performed quite well.
Yeah.
So I think also probably Klopp was trying to get them to play together, try to get
pairing going.
Yeah, try to get, because there's been so much stop-start. Because even our good friend Joel Matip, he seems to be made of, a quarter of him seems to be made of glass. He's been in and out with certain muscle injuries and things like that. And then Lovren is, again, not the poster boy for full fitness. So then you've got these two guys cycling in and out, and then you've got Klavan coming in, and then someone trying to shunt Gomez in there, and so on and so forth. And sometimes even Emre Can last season, right? Gosh.
Yeah.
So I can see why a club would want to try as much as possible, if they're available, fit, to put Lovren and Matip to play them together. Now, the problem is, I think Lovren just has so many things going on in his life right now outside of football. He's got some personal issues that's going on. There's something to do with marriage or something like that. I read, and
I don't care.
He's got that part. And then on top of that, he's got physical issues as well. I mean, he's on painkillers, and he said that he needs to take painkillers just in order to train, not just to play, but to train. Now, and I said this at this fan speak, and this is something that Jason mentioned in Forecast last week, is that Lovren's game is very much a physical game. He's a physical defender. He's not some guy that has a turn of pace, or he's going to suddenly gallop very quickly and catch up with the forward of the opposing team. He's very much a guy that muscles in and gets the ball, wins the ball. But when you take that part of the game, take that part of his game out of the equation, because he has pain in his body, he's needing to manage pain. Then, plus all his other stuff, personal stuff, and then howlers, and then fans calling for his head to be chopped, maybe it's time to give him a sit down.
Even without all those reasons, it's definitely time to give him a sit down. I mean, I love Klopp, I really do, but this pairing has not worked. Forget the pairing. Look at, Lovren as one entity, and how many chances have you given him?
Mm-hmm.
You may as well say that we have given Simon a lot of chances and he has come good. No, he hasn't come good. He has been acceptable, but not at the level of good. Mm-hmm. And Lovren has been given time after time, chances after chance, it hasn't quite happened. All he can be is a backup. And God forbid that he is playing as a backup. One day he gets his chance and he has two avatars, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. God forbid if Dr. Hyde shows up or Hyde shows up. What happens? I would rather have the Hulk Lovren that we are talking about, destroying things. Maybe play 10, 15 games a season as a backup, but he cannot be our first choice. Can never be our first choice.
Okay, perhaps this is slightly a moot point now because he didn't play in the weekend, right? He didn't play at the weekend. However, he was named into the starting lineup before apparently pulling muscle or something in the warm up, pre-game warm up, and then in the dressing room when Klopp asked him if he could go, he said no. Yeah, he couldn't continue. So then. Rejoice. I joked that it was the collective will of a billion fans all over the world that caused him. I cursed him. Yeah. So he didn't play the game. Okay, let's give Lovren a break this week then, because he took a lot of flack last week. But Mignolet played. Do you think it was good to start him then? Do you think Klopp should have started with Mignolet? Or
is it to me?
Let's go to Amir.
I would have loved to see Karius given a go, because I think Ward was injured. But I think trying to trust these two guys, he's actually he's sacrificing himself as well, and Klopp will lose the trust of millions of fans in trying to trust these two guys in the end, I think. I mean, how can Lovren start? I mean, seriously, I was just listening to your conversation and my blood was boiling, because I think people still can't see how bad this guy is. I mean, seriously, for 3 years, he's been a starting centre back. Just look at our league positions. And even when we, reached the Europa League final, people just remember him for that goal that he scored against Dortmund. But we considered 4 goals in that game, 5 goals in 4 or 5 goals in that tie. We considered 3 in the final. We have considered so many goals in so many games. We got even thrashed against City, and even last season we were poor against lower side. It was all down to this guy and Mignolet. But still somehow people want to just back them. I mean, I'm sorry, but this might just turn out to be just like Lucas' situation. Lovely guy, lovely fellow, but we want performances on the field, man. However nice they might be off the field. These two guys are just shit. I mean, seriously, I'm just fed up of these two guys.
To be fair to Lucas, Lucas over the years finally turned out to be a much better player than Lovren will ever be in terms of performances.
I'm not comparing them, but I'm just saying, Lucas was brought in as a backup. And then he somehow he won the Player of the Year award once, and that's fine. That was on merit. But then we just didn't, you need to then go out and buy a proper defensive midfield player, quality one, a much more quality player. But we just kept playing Lucas, and look what happened in the last 6-7 years. That's what I'm saying about Lovren. You just keep backing these guys, and we'll just keep on conceding these sort of idiotic goals, and we'll get these sort of results until you back these guys. I mean, just forgo the thought that he's gonna.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You back a young player to come good, but that time to back someone is long gone. It's long gone. Now either you perform or you perish.
Yeah, you saw the reaction that he got when the news broke in that he's injured or something.
My God.
Was just happy.
A lot of people are celebrating. I tell you.
That was a relief.
Exactly. That sort of reaction now he's getting. So I think people have lost faith in Lovren. Klopp needs to do that as well and just leave him. Otherwise, this might be his downfall if he keeps trusting this guy.
Okay. Again, moving on from Lovren, Mignolet, and I quote. You don't have to give your views on this, but I'm just going to quote it and I'm just going to move on to the next point after that. He said, this is Mignolet, okay? I don't need anyone telling me when I have had a good or a bad game. I know that myself. It is just about staying calm, not getting carried away with what is said, because that is part and parcel of playing for Liverpool. Okay, now that I've said that, Amir is probably about to explode. I'm just going to move on. Okay, next question I'm going to pose to Adi. Adi, in this presser, Klopp says that every club manager has problems except for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. And he says that he thinks that Manchester City could probably wrap up the league title in January or December or something like this. Is this true? How much of these problems that Klopp is referring to, at least with regards to not other clubs, Liverpool, is partly his own doing?
This goes back to what I was saying previously about me having some issues with what he's saying in the press conferences. This sounds like another classic deflection from Klopp. I mean, I love the guy, man, but come on, he's being very defensive here, right? Okay, I mean, even if you want to say that City are the only ones who don't have any issues, you got to question why, and the answer is, hey, great recruitment over the summer, right? Which Klopp refused to do.
Yeah.
But I think, having said that, it's really down to Klopp. He's made some bad choices over the last few windows through this season, with our lineup, with the formations, with the players, with the systems. So I mean, I get what he's saying. I agree with him on a very basic level. But I don't agree with him as the reasoning as to this being something that needs to be looked at as being said, hey, only City don't have problems. So I don't buy it. I agree, but I don't buy it.
Okay. Now, my view on this is that actually it's all interlinked kind of issues. Is the system, the way he plays, and that's nothing wrong with it per se. I think any Liverpool fan. And that's why they like him, right? That's why when he was appointed manager, they said, "Oh yeah, we want that." They only wanted the Borussia Dortmund success, but didn't want the learning curve before that, right? So that's one thing. But they also wanted the style, that heavy metal football, which he's now actually said that he's regretted ever saying that. Okay, but you get that all out attacking thing is the Liverpool way, and it's consistent with how we like to play and how fans would like to see and appreciate football. Unfortunately, for that to work, he needs the right personnel. So then, if he's trying to force fit this approach with a misfit of the kind of players, then obviously it's not gonna lead to inconsistency, because sometimes they get it and sometimes they don't. Right, Hamir? Would you agree with that? Hello?
Yes, can you? I couldn't hear you properly. Can you repeat?
No, would you agree that it's his? Okay, so he has this approach of way of playing. Okay, even with the against Manchester United, right? He said in the presser that maybe it's all right for Manchester United to play this way, but it's not all right for Liverpool to play this way, in this highly defensive way. So he obviously completely feels this attacking and offensive approach is the best way, but it needs to be matched with the right group of players. When you don't have the right group of players, that's when it leads to inconsistency, and you get sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So is that the problem now?
In terms of attacking play, I think we probably do have the adequate players for attacking. But yeah, overall system, we don't have the right players, and that's why sometimes it doesn't work. And this sometimes is turning into most of the times this season. But it's all down to him. Actually, the root of all of Liverpool's problems this season are going to be recruitment in the summer. Every question that comes up for Liverpool, everything comes down to a single guy, that is Virgil van Dijk, and overall recruitment in the summer. But I think Klopp's style, I read an article about 2 weeks ago or something. I think
Yep. Dropped out of that. Okay, sorry, there's been a drop out. Hamir has dropped out. Never mind. Let's move on. Okay. Did you know that Liverpool's defensive performance in the win over Huddersfield was statistically perfect? Interesting, huh? Statistically perfect, apparently. Andrew Beasley, as you know, is a statistician based tuned to Red Twitter. He said, today was what you might call a perfect clean sheet for Liverpool. 0 goals for Huddersfield, 0 shots in the box, 0 clear-cut chances, 0 shots on target. Huddersfield's 0.1 XG expected goals was the lowest attacking figure in the 96 Premier League games so far this season.
It's good to know at least some statistician is having, like a field day and having a woohoo moment, not like the rest of us. Good for him.
Yeah, I mean that is a sad situation where we have to look at statistics like that to make us feel better.
Something to cling on to.
Exactly. Yeah, it's bad, but I mean we are bashing the club, Lovren, and to some extent Klopp as well. But let's not forget that a victory over Huddersfield
We won the game, yeah.
not something that we should completely throw away out of the window.
Yeah.
Because they are a promoted team. But,
Yes.
When we played them, they were just 1 point behind us.
Yes.
And so far, their performances this season have been quite good. Let's not forget, they did defeat Scums. And, Butch Cassidy and Sundance kid that Klopp and Wagner are. So they haven't done so bad. So good on us, a good result. But you have to win 2 back-to-back games for us to go, for any team to progress up the table. Yeah. So let's see if we can do that.
I think it's more than 2 though.
Let's take one step at a time. The next one we have to win. And we have been saying this for I don't know how many years.
Okay. Let's talk about this game, Len. Let's talk about this game. So a classic game of 2 halves, right? First half was, what was that? I mean, I was like dozing off. I was thinking, what in the world? And then it's all, Klopp says you always get compared to the past. Yeah. There's a reason why people do that, because you're playing like shit. Okay, but Huddersfield though, they decided to park the bus, and a lot of our one twos were all being played right up from midfield, high up midfield, instead of in the danger areas and Huddersfield's danger areas, because they're just basically 2 banks. I could literally see on the pitch 2 banks of 4, okay, in the Huddersfield defense. So. Huddersfield didn't do anything to really make it a spectacle for us in the first half, and there was a lack of energy as well from us. So you're like thinking, okay, they've come up after the Spurs loss, terrible loss, and they said all these things, okay, and you'd expect that out of the gates they're gonna come out and rip Huddersfield apart, and it didn't. In fact, it was the total opposite, and then it led to boos. As we heard in the start of the show, it led to boos, which I think was a bit shocking to me, actually. But okay, never mind. I'm not going to address that. But you can sense there's a frustration. People are booing because they're frustrated. How can this be happening against Huddersfield? Then, in the second half, boom, everything changed. We were so much better. There's so much aggression, so much movement, so much movement off the ball, and all of that. So, what happened actually in the second half, Amir?
Finally, we got lucky. I think. That
luck?
Penalty miss didn't help as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's talk about that. Should Salah have taken the penalty?
No. Absolutely not. I mean, this just shows, how much of trouble we are in right now. Not trouble, but, you have a designated penalty taker in Milner. And if he's on the pitch, then he should be the one taking it. And if not, I think Firmino has taken the next highest. So he should be the second designated taker. Anyways, I think it was just that Salah scored for Egypt. That's why he gave it to him, or whatever the reason. I think this just came out wrong. I mean, why did we allow Salah to take it suddenly?
I really would like to know that if this was a pre-designated decision, that if there is a penalty, Salah would take it.
Yeah, he said he changed it. He changed it. He said after the Egypt game, right, where Salah did because he said after that to score a penalty in such pressure situation, that's something, and he's actually said that he would be our penalty taker. He actually said it.
But Milner has a very good record. Milner,
but then the thing is that Milner, then actually what happened was that the last penalty he took, he missed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last penalty he took, he missed. And then this Egypt thing. And then suddenly, Milner is also on the pitch despite not really being in the squad. He's been now in the past 3 games. 3 games, right? Yeah, 3 games. And then you see Salah with the ball in the penalty. Like, huh?
But that's what's baffling, no?
That's stupid.
But just to add in here, right, even if it didn't feel like a predetermined thing, because there were a couple of minutes, maybe a minute or two, where there were like a lot of discussions happening, and there was Salah, Henderson, I think a couple, and Sturridge with the ball, all looking back towards the dugout at Klopp, asking who needs to take the penalty. So I don't think it was like 100% clear between them. If it was, decided beforehand, it just didn't seem so.
Okay, I am thankful to you, Adi, for saying that. I'm very, very grateful to you for saying that this was possibly and most probably, and I'm wanting to believe this, an ad hoc decision. You know why I say that?
Everyone's wanting to believe that this was an ad hoc decision.
You know why we have to believe that it's an ad hoc decision? Because if it wasn't an ad hoc decision, if it was something that was predetermined, now I then have to go back and think, why was it so easy for Klopp to make such a change in decision over who takes the penalty kick versus who to play?
I see what you're doing there.
It's if he finds it easy in such instances where it's versus where it actually matters, then thank you. I hope and I choose to believe that it was quite ad hoc. People are thinking, hey, Salah did quite well. He's on a hot form. Let him take it. Okay, wrong decision.
Even then, it doesn't make any sense. If you have Milner, you have Henderson, you have Firmino,
Sturridge,
all these people, and who pops up? Salah. Salah is a fantastic player, and I don't buy the criticism that he takes so many chances to score. He doesn't hit the target often, but it's a fact that he doesn't hit the target often, and you ask him to take a penalty right before halftime. Wow, fantastic.
Well, the goalie, what's his name? The Huddersfield goalie.
Lossell.
Yeah, Lossell. Yeah, he said that actually it was a lucky guess. He said that Salah's left-footed, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He's left-footed, and he guessed that he would shoot in that way. He doesn't look at the keeper, and he guessed that he would. Yeah, no, that's what Lossell said. So he guessed right. Yeah, so
that was not even a good penalty.
Yeah.
It's not a blinder from a goalie. It was just a bad penalty. That's all. Anyway.
No, it was the one he took for Egypt.
It might be mind game as well, I think. Klopp, they thought that Lossell thought that Milner is going to take it, so Klopp designated it to Salah to surprise them.
Yeah,
maybe. So Lossell would have prepared for Milner. When you take penalties, you look at the form and where they place it.
Yeah.
Maybe he went with Salah.
Yeah. Okay.
Could be a lot of things.
Just before we end the talk, I think the penalty issue, if he's on the pitch, it has to start and end with James Milner. He's the only one who should take the penalties in the future now. It has to start and end with him.
Yeah, I would.
If he's on the pitch.
Yeah. Okay.
But irrespective of who took the penalty, right? I mean, it's just surprising that this wasn't determined beforehand. I mean, come on. This is not done. I mean, you got to organize these things much better.
But again, we wouldn't be talking about this if it went in.
Yeah, of course.
We would say 1-0 up, 3-0, 4-0.
That's right.
We wouldn't be talking about it.
True.
But,
that's true. That's true. Okay, let's move on let's focus on half of the game, the second half. And it's like a different game already, a different game of football that happened. Fantastic. I thought the performance was fantastic, actually, to be honest with you. Despite the fact
was.
it was Huddersfield or whatever. Okay, I'm going to put all of that aside. I thought it was very, very good. Okay. And the best part is the three guys who scored, it couldn't have been scripted better, the three guys who scored. Daniel Sturridge. Okay. Oh, amazing, fantastic goal. Right. And for me, it's like, wow, classic centre forward finish in a way, in a sense, you know, anticipating and just finishing it with aplomb. And then Firmino, despite his poor form, scoring, okay, and celebrating like how Firmino does. And then Gini Wijnaldum, again, a guy who's been really off colour, you know. So it's great that these three guys, of all of them, put the ball at the back of the net, doesn't it, Hamir?
Yeah, you're right. Especially Gini Wijnaldum, since he was in a drought. And yeah, I was delighted to see Wijnaldum score personally because it was a home game. So every home game, there's a 20%, 30% chance that Wijnaldum will score. But now that he's, I think I have a feeling that now he's broken his drought. He's started scoring again. Maybe if I'm not saying he'll score away from home. Yeah. That I've thought impossible to happen. But yeah, I think they still give him confidence. And Sturridge also, same thing. Firmino, I think out of all three, Firmino, other than like Wijnaldum, I just said, but Firmino just had to score after the run he'd been. After Arsenal, he didn't score in the Premier League. So Firmino was also under some pressure to score because there were doubts about him as the number 9 for Liverpool and all the rumor and the murmurings and all. Although Klopp doesn't give a shit about that because Klopp trusts Firmino more than anybody in the whole Liverpool team. But still, Firmino had to prove himself, and it was a good header, just getting stuck in that. Impressive given Firmino's physique and all. But yeah, I was delighted with the three scorers, and would have been even better if I would have seen Oxlade-Chamberlain score. Yeah,
and that was nothing.
Kind of a personal favorite of mine, Oxlade-Chamberlain. So.
Yeah, I read something earlier about a very controversial title saying that Ox has actually risked his England career by joining Liverpool. Because he's just because no I know
what rubbish.
The argument that the writer was trying to give was the fact that even though his position was not established in Arsenal, at least he was starting to play games. Now he's come to Liverpool where his position is also question mark, and because he hasn't been played. So he hasn't even gotten the game time. So that's the position that the writer took to say that by coming to Liverpool, he's actually risked his England career. I still think it's bullshit.
But he'll improve as a player. So I don't know. It will work out to his benefit as only. So
well, he can only improve as a player if he plays, right? So
training.
He is playing. He is playing. It's not like he's not playing. He's playing as an impact sub. If he does the job there's no reason for him not to feature in Southgate's plan. I don't think so.
Okay, so what happened? What happened in the second half? Apart from what happened in the halftime, because probably a rocket from Klopp went off, and he must have stripped the dressing room walls, as Chris Bascom so colourfully put it. We were a different team in the second half. So what actually happened personnel-wise and tactically? Adi?
So apart from the obvious rocket, I think a couple of things which have basically happened. I think one is that Henderson obviously pushed up a little more in the second half. I think also, I also think, there was more urgency to our play. You could clearly make out the urgency in trying to move the ball forward. We were also playing quite a few balls directly from the defense, over the midfield. I think, and I think that's how Daniel Sturridge's chance also came about as well. So I think we did those things quite well. Surprisingly, the second goal was a corner. So I think kudos to Milner for finally putting a great corner. And I mean, how well, not often at all have we seen us score from a corner, or for that matter, put in a ball into the box, which is good and can be scored from. So I think a couple of things we did right there in the second half. I think some of the things we can emulate, hopefully, in the next games as well.
Okay. Amir, what do you think what do you think Klopp did differently?
I think he just we had more urgency in that second half.
Okay.
And then after that first goal, the floodgates opened because Huddersfield needed to attack. So we just took advantage of that. Corner, as he said, Adi said that corner goal was something unusual. But by that time, we were starting to create more and more chances. But I really loved Wijnaldum's goal. That was a very good finish for me, and it was good for his confidence as well, because I think he deserves to start a bit more further, because that's where he has played throughout his career, and from the Dutch, from his Dutch under 23, 21s to the national team, from PSV days to Newcastle. Now he's playing a much more restricted role, and I would love to see him in that a bit further number 8 or number 10 role, because he deserves a chance to play there. He's been restricted by Klopp, I think. And he's much more attacking player than people give credit him for. He's basically a player that you need to play him behind a striker. He has always been that sort of player, and I would just love to see him get games at that number 8 or number 10 spot, rather than just running around the midfield, closing people down and just winning position and giving the ball to Coutinho. I would love to see him take more shots, and not just Wijnaldum, Chan, Henderson. You just see Henderson's game. He has so much space. Just have a go. I mean, he scored that belter at Chelsea, so he has that in his arsenal to score goals from long ranges. And that's my main criticism of our midfield. We just don't take enough shots when we are open. I mean, it's always Coutinho cutting in from the left and having a go. Why not Henderson? Chan has started to get more and more adventurous when he has the ball and he tries to shoot. But Wijnaldum and Henderson, they need to shoot more.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get lucky.
Exactly. Actually, Emre Can said in a German interview at halftime that Klopp told them to get more men ahead of the ball during the build-up phase. That's exactly what Klopp has told them to do. Make perfect sense, didn't it? Because we've known that the problem has been that when teams come to Anfield and only content to park the bus and put 11 men behind the ball, 10 men behind the ball, 11 men actually behind the ball, then this not enough players moving between the lines, creating space for the midfield runners. So do you think that this simple tweak now, getting more men ahead of the ball during build-up phase, especially in situations where the opposition is parking the bus, could this simple tweak start to signal a change in our fortunes against such teams? Hamir?
It could, I was wondering the same thing during the game, because Henderson vacated his position and went further forward, and it could help, because, and I was watching on TV and Don Hutchison was in commentary. He said a very good thing. He said Liverpool don't need 3 players sitting back, like with Jordan Henderson sitting back with Matip and Klavan against teams like Huddersfield, and especially with the striker like Deporter, who's not going to run with pace. He's not like a Jamie Vardy, but if we get men ahead of the ball, I think it could help. But with Liverpool, everything that could or would, it all depends on the next game. We can only judge Liverpool with the next game. We said the attack has finally clicked, and then we got smashed by Spurs, and so it all depends on the next game. And next game, actually, the team is going to sit deep. Maribor will be deeper than ever. I think Maribor, even the striker, will be at the edge of the box with the thrashing the received. So let's see against Maribor how it pans out.
And the thing that was very obvious to me here then is clear, at least just from this one small example, and from examples before these games, 2 seasons ago, that Henderson's best position is further forward, not as a defensive midfielder. He's just not the DM. This is not the DM that we need.
Yeah, but I think the players we have are better suited to the number 8 position than Henderson is. I think, of course, Coutinho, when Mane comes back, Coutinho will drop back into midfield. No changing him. Lallana is better than Henderson at that position. Milner, to some extent, I think we can say with the performance he put against Huddersfield and Maribor, is better than Henderson in that position. Emre Can is better than Henderson in that position. Wijnaldum is better than Henderson in the position. And Klopp wants to play Henderson. So where else can he play Henderson? So
you're missing out one guy, though. the actual incoming number 8.
Oh yeah, Naby Keita, but that's for next season. So
Exactly. So that guy is head and shoulders everybody else.
And we're forgetting a rumor. If I hope it's
January,
true
yeah.
and it happens, what if we get Leon Goretzka?
Oh, Leon Goretzka. Okay.
Yeah. So then Henderson. That's the only place he can play.
Yes, Shibo. Sorry.
Hamid's right on point. We do not have a defensive midfielder. We just don't. I love, seeing Hendo running and going beyond the defenders with the ball, without the ball. He can create chances. He can score. That's how he used to play. But because we have, these plethora of options who actually are supposedly better than Hendo in doing that, he's the only one who has to play the defensive role. He's not that kind of a player. And it's not working. But we don't have someone else who can do it for you. So Hendo is sacrificed. People criticize him. The overall performance of the team takes a dip, and we do nothing about it. That's the story.
Okay, guys. We are going to take a very quick listening break. But when we come back, we're going to talk about some of our young players, and we're going to look forward to Maribor. But in the meantime, here is the May song. Gosh, that song is so therapeutic. It was so nice recording it.
Actually, I found it. I had a new version in my mind for Call Me Maybe. So, like 5's my number. Call me Genie.
I prefer this version.
Joe, we didn't know you were like a talented bathroom singer, man. Like, not bad.
Like I swallowed my soap or something. Okay, all right, maybe call me baby feet gorilla. Thank you very much. That's funny. Okay, we've got a great bunch of guys coming through the academy right now. Bright sparks. Talent for the future. I think I also mentioned that we only wish that the future was now, right? Amir. The future starts now. It never starts now. Ryan Brewster has golden. Is it the award Golden Boy? Is that what it's called at the FIFA?
No, he got the golden
Boot. Golden Boot.
Golden Boot.
Yeah.
Golden. Who's
Top
Golden
scorer.
Boy?
Golden Ball
Boy is
was
Phil
Phil
Foden.
Foden.
Phil Foden.
Full Foden. Okay.
Golden
Boot.
Boy is Mbappe, that Le Quip Awards.
Okay. Fantastic outing by Ryan Brewster. Of course, we know Solanke at the under 23s cup also was top scorer in that competition. We got a couple of good other guys as well. Who am I missing? I'm missing a lot of names here. Wilson, Harry Wilson. When are we gonna ever see Harry Wilson in the starting 11? Are we ever gonna see him in the starting 11? And we missed one more guy. Who did we miss?
We're going to see him on the bench. Starting 11 is a far fetch.
There's a fourth guy. Did we miss the fourth guy?
Ejaria?
Ejaria.
No, that's one more guy.
Woodburn.
Awarded with the contract extension. As well. Rian, I think he's going to come back to a new contract extension as well. We've got all these great talents. Of course, Rian is just way too young, to be starting Premier League games, so that's fine. You put him one side. But Solanke, we bought him. Every time he's come on, he's looked ready. Harry Wilson again. Harry Wilson. when are we ever going to see Harry Wilson?
I think we have that we wore that t-shirt against Manchester United. Seeing is believing. So when we see them on the field, we'll believe.
Oh man!
Seriously, there were. We won that Premier League youth league 10 years back with Christian Nemeth and Danny Pacheco and Susos and everyone of those guys, and they were as much star players for their team as Harry Wilson is, Ejaria is, Woodburn is. They didn't get the chances then. Look how Suso turned out to be. Maybe he wouldn't have worked out at Liverpool, but Nemeth was top scorer for our youth setup during those days. Scored a brace against United under 23s on his debut. So we always had those talent. Ayala, Paleta, all these guys. I mean, we always used to have those talents in our youth league, in our youth side. But we always failed to give the proper guys a chance. I mean, look at Flanagan right now. I mean, he's past his date. He won't make it here.
No,
but somehow he's still here.
That's
I think Canos went to Brentford, and then what was that guy that went to Watford? Jerome Sinclair. He went to Watford.
He's been a failure. Ibe has been a failure.
Yeah, and I'm not but I'm not going to blame their decisions. But Brewster left Chelsea because he thought that opportunity won't be there won't be many opportunities, so he came to Liverpool.
Solanke
Same
as well.
is the case with Solanke. But until you see them given the chances that they deserve, and we always discuss Wilson, Joe, on our group, that when is he going to get his chance? 28 goals last season, already has 8 this season. I mean, you take someone like Whelan too, Corey Whelan, a proper central defensive midfield player. You can play him at right back as well. These sort of guys you can give chances to. So, but when they'll get the chance, we'll believe it.
I don't know. I mean, that's somewhat. I believe it's a little unfair. That's unfair criticism on the, management team, on Klopp maybe, because a lot of these guys, they come with potential, but doesn't mean that they'll all fulfill it. I was watching the Under-17 World Cups. I went to almost all the games that happened here in Calcutta. I was then reading up about the Under-17 history and all that. So there are names like this year it's Brewster. There's been other names in the past who lit the competition up, but didn't quite fulfill it. One of our very own is the Florence Cinema Pongole. He was thought with high regard at Liverpool itself, but he didn't quite fulfill it.
He came from Le Havre, Dada.
What?
Le Havre, yeah.
Pongole and Letalak. They both came for £10 million.
Yes, combined. But they the point I'm trying to make is that they were highly regarded, and that's probably why we went for them. But they didn't quite fit the bill. They didn't make it. So it's a little unfair to say that every potential that we have, every potential, players with potential that we have has to go in the first team right now and has to have the exposure. That's just not physically possible.
No, absolutely. No, yeah, I agree with you. But at least, I mean, not talking about the 17s, they're too young. But Harry Wilson, Solanke, these two guys. Why not give these? Hey, okay, Adi, why not give these two guys a shot at Maribor?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good shout out. That's a very good shout out. That should happen maybe.
Who?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think why not?
Okay, if you take a regular first team starter from the team right now, take them out. Who would you take out to play Harry Wilson?
Lovren.
Jeez, come on. That guy need Lovren a break. He's taking painkillers even as we speak.
I mean, that's kind of supposing that he's going to be a regular first team starter. But okay, if you say so, sure.
But who would you take out from say current starter in the senior team and to put Harry Wilson in?
I think first of all, like I may not necessarily start him, but I want to give him minutes. So I think I'm envisaging more like a substitute role. So who would I take out, right? I guess if I'm playing Firmino up top, I would take off Firmino and play Harry Wilson. I guess that's kind of like a straight switch, right? Straightish switch.
He plays as a second striker.
Yeah.
Also number 9
so-
maybe.
Salah, right? You could play him for Salah. Salah's played a lot though.
Yeah.
Now is the time to try him, no? Because we are already, we don't have options on the wing because Coutinho is out, Mane is out. We don't have Lallana. So
My God.
why not just have him on the bench at least?
I'm shivering. I'm shivering in my boots that, Salah's been played so much. I'm sure he's got great fitness and everything, but if he gets injured, right, well, fucked. Seriously.
Yep.
I was thinking the same thing this afternoon.
Next year is our year.
What? Shut up. Yeah. Solanke can play. Wilson can play. It's Maribor, right? At Anfield? Wow.
But if you talk about that, then isn't it a fair point that Ox should
play,
get
yeah?
the pick
Yeah.
before Wilson,
Absolutely.
before the other
What
guy?
about-
What about
Danny
Ward
Ings.
as well? Ward.
Danny Ings.
Yeah. Well, Ward is injured.
I think
but
that's not good. That's not going to happen. Even if he was not injured,
even was not injured.
Karius has
Karius
been
has, yeah.
picked as the Champions League goalkeeper. So
Yeah.
until
But
unless
still, he
makes-
deserves a chance. I mean, he's being kept here to be given
Yeah.
a chance.
Yeah.
But now he isn't given even a chance. But then why just he's looking at his fellow? He played for Huddersfield and they got promoted. Now he's seeing them play week in week out. How must he be feeling right now? I mean, he was one of the main guys to bring them up, and now he can't even get minutes for the reserve side.
No, the goalkeeping situation
You're
is a little
forgetting Danny
different.
Ings.
Oh yeah,
And then Danny Ings.
Danny-
He's slowly on his way back, huh?
yeah.
So
Yeah, back
But
to
hey, the
Sunday.
still not,
goalkeeping
yeah.
situation is somewhat different. I have to disagree here because you will see that a lot of good goalkeepers have spent time on the bench because they were at good teams and the teams simply had better goalkeepers, which is debatable for us. But you look at the names like Shea Given. He was a fantastic keeper, but he spent time on the bench because he was at a good team. Then Begovic till last year was at Chelsea as a reserve keeper. This season he has moved on, but the goalkeeping situation is a little different because that's just only one position where you can play.
yeah.
So I don't think Ward will complain much. Maybe this season he won't. Next season he will demand a chance.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get it, then he will think of something or it's all conjecture at the moment. But for this season, I don't think we can really question the fact that Ward hasn't got a game yet.
But Shibs, just want to say there, right? So I mean, I understand you're saying, well, he's a reserve keeper, but I think what's unfair is the fact that he's a third choice keeper. If he was a second choice keeper, I think it's still fair because he's young and he's getting experience from our first choice. But he's good, and yet he is the third choice, which is why I think it's a little unfair on him.
Okay, very good. I understand what you're saying, but tell me, have you seen Ward play a Premier League game yet? And that you can pass the verdict that he's good and ready to start at the moment. Have you seen him play?
Give him the
top
chance
matches?
first.
That's
how,
a very
how
good
is
point.
he gonna,
Yes.
Good
Okay.
point.
Good.
How is he gonna get the
Very
chance?
good. Very
I-
good.
I-
I agree. Okay.
I think
Adi, please.
I was just saying it's unfair that he's being kept here. I think he should be sent out on loan. I'm not saying he should start for us because that's a little way off. He's really good, but you're right, he's not ready to start. But I'm saying it's unfair to keep him as the third choice. If there's an option to send him out on loan in Jan, we should absolutely do that.
Shall I tell you something? I think Ward is absolutely ready.
Yeah.
I think he's
Yeah,
more
and
ready
he
than.
has already proven it at the
that's-
championship.
exactly,
He came
and-
up with Huddersfield.
I-
Where is he gonna go?
I think he's.
Joe, that's your desperation speaking.
No,
because you
I think
that
he's-
our first two choices are just not
No,
good
no,
enough
no,
to be
no,
first
no,
two
no, no,
choices.
no.
Yes. Okay. We'll be frank. They are not good enough. So why do I mean, seriously.
Somebody had to say.
Hold on.
You are still
What?
backing Mignolet, Dada. I mean, come on.
I'm not backing Mignolet, dude. I'm not. Believe me,
You
I'm
are
not.
that You said that we think that our first two choices are not good enough. Fine, they are not good enough. Give this guy a chance then.
Dude, I want to put it on record that I'm not backing Minole. Minole at best is a backup, not a first
God.
choice. Simple as that.
You've got an Mignolet albatross on your neck right now.
He's the
Shivs, you
backup
can't
to a
shake it off. You
backup.
can't shake it off. Okay, the thing here is that I thought that we would keep Ward as a second choice keeper and actually loan Karius out, because the issue the last season was that he's coming into this new league. The expectations with their playing in the Premier League was totally different. He's also intermittent of the pressure that's there. So I thought, okay, he should go out and go to a championship team or maybe even another Premier League team and get that soak up that pressure, but outside, And whereas Ward has gone into a championship team involved in the like cutthroat. I mean, the championship, let's be honest, it's tough. It's really, really tough, especially when you're trying to fight for promotion, right? Okay. And he was fully involved in that and fully a part and parcel of helping Huddersfield gain promotion, and he's also done very, very well for Wales, especially also him and Woody. He's more ready. He's more ready for the Premier League. Just thinking logically from this perspective, right? So then it's like, okay, now I'm third choice keeper behind a guy who doesn't even have experience in this league or in the country. So
if we played the cups, probably he would play.
Yeah.
Probably. If we had
That's
League
what
Cup
I'm thinking. Let's wait for the FA Cup. So
probably he will play. I think so too, because, and you guys are talking about two keepers here, and I'll be hanged for this. But let me say my point. Get ready your pitchforks and things. No problem. Simon, we have seen him long enough, but Karius, we just haven't seen him long enough yet. He hasn't been given a consistent run. It's not like he has been given 3 games to prove himself. That hasn't happened.
Okay.
He plays 1 game, and right now he is doing the Champions League. So, and in Champions League, has he done that bad this season? Has he really? I mean, think of it, please. Give him a fair go.
Spartak Moscow.
Ah.
It was his mistake. Big mistake by him. He's a bad judger of free kicks. I think the West Ham game last season, Payet never should have scored that free kick. I still remember. Karius made a big mistake. Same mistake he did. But I think, fair point, Karius needs more games, but I think he won't get. If we go further in the Champions League, then he might get. FA Cup, it's Ward's tournament. He has to play the FA Cup. But to be honest, I think Mignolet is better than both of them. He made a mistake against Spurs, that's why people are on his back. But I think he's better than both of them. Better shot stopper for sure. And his handling and all has improved despite that Spurs mistake. Even Schmeichel said a very good thing, a long-time rival. He said Mignolet is not a bad keeper. He's just a bit, sometimes mentality is not, but he's a top keeper, which I don't agree. He's not a top keeper, but he's the best option we have right now.
He would be considered. He'd be considered a top keeper on any second-tier team. That is not the top 6 teams.
That's why I bought him from Sunderland.
Yeah, but right now, out of all options, he's the best option we have.
People are not on Simon's back because he made a mistake against Spurs. Of course, that is a contributing factor, but people are on his back because of the last 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
But how much did he improve after Karius came? How the improvement he made last season?
I think there was an improvement.
And there was quite an improvement, and that's
from
why
December to May. From December to May, I think he was one of the crucial reasons why we reached the Champions League. I still have the memories of the saves he made. If not for his saves, we wouldn't have reached the Champions League.
His performance at the moment is, as I said earlier, is acceptable for a top level club. But his performance yet is not exceptional, and we need an exceptional keeper.
Then it all comes down to recruitment. Buy another new keeper.
It's like what Klopp said, the past keeps coming back. It's unavoidable. Okay, we're indirectly talking about we're kind of indirectly talking about Maribor as well in this discussion about who we want to see start. Okay, just before that, breaking news from Sky Sports News: Tottenham issue lifetime bans to 2 supporters who threw urine at West Ham fans during the Carabao Cup tie. What the?
Wow, there was a video circulating as well. You saw that video? There was a video circulating.
Yeah,
I don't
the
want to see
urine
the
was
video.
definitely circulating somewhere.
I don't know.
want
It's
to
gross.
Certainly great promotion for the recently renamed Carabao Cup, isn't it? The names are just floating everywhere over the internet.
I mean, in one of our earlier pods with Joe, we were discussing that this Carabao company, they thought, yeah, it's a League Cup. Let's, go for it. We'll get ourselves a good deal. People will know of us. And then we were calling it fucking Carabao Cup. And look what's happening now.
People are throwing shit and urine around. Feces, gosh, feces. Oh, my word. Okay. Oh my God, we've so run out of time. But okay, never mind. Let's continue. Okay, okay, Adi, who would you like to see start in this game against Maribor? No harm, no foul, right? There's no pressure on us, right? I mean, we're at Anfield. It should be an easy win first and foremost, right, Adi?
Yes, I think it should be.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's no such thing as an easy win. It should be a win, is what I'll say.
So if that's the case, and then we know that we also need to get points against West Ham. We'll come to that in a little bit. But who do you want to see start this game?
Do you
given
mean
a
in
chance.
terms of like changes to the team, or do you mean
given
like
a
the
chance,
whole
yeah.
11?
Changes given a chance, yeah.
I'd really like to see Oxlade-Chamberlain start. I think Firmino, either rest Firmino or Salah. I think Salah can always be brought on later because I think it should be an easy-ish game and, Salah needs some rest.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like Solanke to be given a chance at number 9.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been great every time I've seen him play. He really holds up the ball well, brings players into attacks. And I think for a young guy, I think he's really good. I don't know if he's a great finisher yet. I haven't seen enough of it. I don't think he's gotten enough minutes for us to see it. So I really hope Solanke gets a chance as well. So I think these are the two guys I'd really like to see starting.
Okay, so Ox and Solanke for you.
Yeah,
Ox and
that's
Solanke
right.
for you. Hamir?
So I'll just it depends on the fitness as well. Coutinho, I'll just name the lineup. I think Karius in goal, that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Arnold at right, that's going to happen. If Lovren is fit, I'd like to see him play at centre back. If he's not fit, then other than Clavan, it's better if we try Joe Gomez there, along with Matip. Left, everybody wants to see Robertson, but I think Moreno is there on merit right now and he'll stay the same. But I think the midfield has to stay the same with the previous Maribor game with Chan, Deep, Milner and Wijnaldum as the two shuttling number 8s. That worked very well against them, so I think that should stay the same. If Coutinho isn't fit, then Oxlade on the left, Firmino striker and Salah right. But the one thing I want to see is either Danny Ings or Woodburn or both of them on the bench. So if we have another easy game, at least one of them gets the chance to play. Because I was hoping to see Woodburn against Huddersfield. He brought on Solanke, but I think one of them should be on the bench so that they get the chance if it's another easy game like the one before. But yeah, Ox and Joe Gomez may be the only ones I want to see different from the lineup.
Okay. Let's go to the predictions then. Amir, what's your prediction for the Maribor game? Scoreline wise.
2-0.
2-0, okay. Shibo?
I think it will be a 3-0 because this time they will, sit back deep and they won't venture forward at all. They have no hopes, none at all. So yeah, that's it. 3-0.
Adi?
I think I agree with Shibs. I think I'm going for a 3-0 as well.
Okay. Hamir?
9-0, breaking another record. Just kidding. I'll go for a safer option, 4-0.
4-0. Okay, I'll go 4-0. Yeah, I'll go 4-0. 4-0. Yeah, 4-0 sounds about right to me. Okay, then now, let's talk about West Ham then. Slavan Bilic has been given 2 games. One of those games is gone. Palace was it?
Yeah, Palace. Yeah.
Palace, yeah, and they beat Palace, right?
No, they drew.
They drew against
2-2
Palace. Yeah, they drew against Palace. So that's the first game that's down, and the next game, bad luck for him. He's playing us, and even more bad luck for him. He doesn't have any defenders. Does that sound like a familiar problem to you guys? He doesn't have any defenders. But okay, all joking aside, he could be without 3 central defenders for his game against us this Saturday. James Collins has still not recovered. Winston Reid also missed that 2-2 draw against Palace. Jose Fonte limped off in the second half of that match with a foot injury. So his only centre-back options for this game is Angelo Ogbonna, who actually conceded the penalty in that game at Selhurst Park, and teenager Declan Rice. Okay, and he actually may be forced to play someone else, actually. One of his midfielders. Kouyaté, yeah, exactly.
Kouyaté.
Yeah, in central defense. Again, that sounds very familiar, right?
Yeah.
So there's no reason. Actually, and as I just tweeted, right, the stars are aligned for Liverpool to follow up with the Huddersfield win with victories against Maribor at home and against West Ham. True, right?
But Liverpool have never given a shit about the Stars. So.
Yeah.
And did we say that same thing about Southampton in that League Cup semi-finals when the centre backs were injured and Stephens
Van Dijk was injured.
Yeah, and Stephens came in and he played like Maldini in those 2 legs.
Yeah.
So until I'll say that tagline: "Seeing is believing."
Yeah, Amir's on a good point there. This kid Declan Rice might just come out and be, a superstar on that
Paolo
day.
Maldini, Alessandro Nesta or something, right?
Never know.
And what will happen, he'll have a good game. Southampton will buy him. Then later we'll buy him.
Gosh. And who are we playing after West Ham?
Southampton.
Southampton. Oh man, this shit writes itself, dude.
I'm just smashing West Ham on FIFA.
Mashing West Ham on FIFA. Okay.
9, I scored 9 already.
Wow.
Wow.
Are you doing it right now as we are doing the pod?
Yeah.
Thank you, Hamir, for putting all our attention on this podcast.
Multitasking.
Recent games, West Ham, they drew against Palace. They lost against Spurs. They won against Brighton. They drew against Burnley.
Won against Spurs. Lost against Brighton.
Yeah, they lost 3-0, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. One against Spurs. One against. I'm just looking at the scores, the table the wrong way. One against Spurs, lost against Brighton, drew against Burnley, and won against Swansea. So it's a WDL draw. So very mixed bag. Again, sounds very familiar. I see. Yeah. It shouldn't be a problem. I don't see any problem. We should be beating them. So
that's what we say every time, but
okay.
So, and it's West Ham, good team, good attack.
Absolutely, yeah.
Chicharito, Arnautovic, Carroll, Antonio, good attacking players. Even if they don't have a defense, they can still score. Ayew, he's playing well.
But you forgot the most important player in the team.
Mark Noble.
No.
Lanzini.
No, the world-class goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, of course. And he's had good games against us in the past. So yeah, and I forgot Lanzini. I forgot Mark Noble, and then I know they've sent Feghouli away. So
you would wonder why they are struggling, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's and they had a good window. Like I felt they had
Stop
a good
being so
window.
rude.
Zabaleta, Arnautovic, Chicharito, Hart. Seemed like they had a good window.
Yeah,
Something to do with the ground. Something to do
The
with
centre backs are
stadium.
struggling actually.
Oh.
Even like
Now-
Font, before he got injured, he wasn't playing that well.
Now, who that reminds us of? Let me think.
Welcome to the Liverpool soap opera.
Okay, guys, I didn't know. I'm sorry, this is a bit irrelevant now, but I didn't know. I just found out that Carabao is an energy drink company.
Yeah, what do you think?
They're partners of Chelsea. Chelsea is partners.
And Spurs have banned these two poor fans for accusing them of throwing urine when actually what they were throwing was Carabao drink, which looks like urine. Imagine the injustice.
Have mercy. We're just piling it on them.
Is justice blind?
Justice is blind.
Justice is blind. Oh yeah, it is actually justice is blind. Yeah, that's true.
The Marvel show Daredevil. That is the example of justice is blind.
Justice is blind. Yeah. Okay. Funny joke. I said time to test world class. Cough bullshit. Goalkeeper Joe Hart, and this guy replies he's playing for Maribor now, and another guy says don't you dare disrespect Maribor like that.
The only thing is these things always come back to bite us in the ass, like it's history with Liverpool.
Yeah, we always keep talking about the past.
We'll have to make our ass bite proof.
Yeah.
That's on Emre Can, Joel Matip, and the other defenders and Henderson and all.
Okay, just gonna end this right now. Just looking at some rumors. The only thing that's stuck out really is this Timo Werner one.
Really? We have a rumor?
Yeah,
regarding
Timo
Werner? What is that?
Werner.
Yeah.
Well, it could be an old rehash thing.
First.
Hey?
I think we got to wait for James Pearce before we get into it.
What is the rumor, by the way?
That we've been linked with him. But this is quite old, right? It's that link, so-called link, has been there for a while.
We've been
but I would
linked
love to
with
see
him.
him.
There was also that Coutinho rumor to PSG. Going out for the Barcelona.
Then that
yeah.
Coutinho has told his agent to forget PSG and focus on Barcelona, something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, that was there. Yeah, actually, I put that one out there, and they just cashed in.
What? It's worked, by the way. And then the other rumor, not first team, but this Mexico guy,
David Lainez, something.
Diego
Lainez.
Lainez.
Yeah.
Diego Lainez, hoping to get him in, link him up with Stevie Gerrard, but I don't know anything about this guy.
But under 17 World Cup, if you got to buy a player, it's got to be Phil Foden. Obviously, Man City won't sell him.
City won't let him
They
go
won't
because
sell him, yeah.
But Phil Foden is the guy to get.
Man, I watched Foden and Brewster firsthand. Foden is one for the future. So is Brewster, because it is said a lot of the times, but he scored the goals, and me and my friends were discussing watching the game at the stadium, that he always finds himself in the right place, and that doesn't happen by luck. Just doesn't happen by luck, and he finishes them. He doesn't. I barring the first.
I called him Rian Ronaldo for that.
Rian Ronaldo.
and you would be right. You would be right, because Foden is a creator. Brewster is not so much, but he's a finisher. Every time he was there, he missed one chance, and that was right at the beginning, I think, against Mexico. For the rest of
miss.
It was, but for the rest of the tournament, whenever he got the chance, he converted. Is it sheer luck? I don't think so. Not for a span of 6-7 games.
He scored a
Probably
super
not.
free kick as well.
Yes. I watched that. I was so happy. Here's this Liverpool kid playing in my hometown, and I'm there to watch, and he is setting the tournament light. Wow, that was a great feeling.
I think one of the under 17 players, if we got to buy like this Linus thing, but USA's Tim Weir, he's a great player. We could try for him.
We can. There are a host of people. We can try Hudson-Odoi as well.
Hudson-Odoi, no, but Chelsea won't let him go.
Chelsea might.
Chelsea
might.
Chelsea will.
Chelsea might. They let go Solanke, right? They let go a lot of other
Brewster. They let go Brewster.
Yeah.
But Lati Boudier also a good player.
Lati Boudier is a good player, yes. But the Hudson-Odoi, he has some turn of pace, man.
Yeah, he's a great player.
He killed Spain in the final. My goodness.
So if we sent Kent on loan, we should have gone for Jadon Sancho. We let him go to Dortmund. He would be a good player for Liverpool under 18s and all.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think only Tim Weir, and USA got good players. Sargent is there, is a decent player.
Josh Sargent is a good player, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him in Delhi. I was seeing them. So in Germany's Arp is good, but we've already got Brewster and all his strikers. So.
Yeah, Jan Fita Arp, he's a good, strong centre forward. He really is.
I think Liverpool should buy Komal Thakkar.
Okay, guys, we have to end the show because I have no idea what the hell you guys are talking about.
And first, please let Wilson get a chance.
Yeah, exactly. But that's some nice exotic sounding names like Sergeant and whatever. Yeah, we should maybe do a show on all these young guys. But as for this show, sadly, we have come to the end.
I have a proposition, guys. Let's keep on talking about Under 17 World Cup for next 5 minutes. And Joe will be silent. Let's see how he takes that.
He'll end the pod there only.
As I'm ending the pod right now. Thank you very much, listeners. Thank you very much, guests, for joining me on the show. Talk to you really soon. Hope we had a good result against Maribor and also against West Ham at the weekend. And up the red men, and all the best to us. Hopefully it's blue skies. And all the best to all of us. Thanks, guys. Take care. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
She said, some days I feel like shit. Some days I wanna quit and just be normal for a bit. I don't understand why you have to always be gone. I get along, but the trips always feel so long. And I find myself trying to stay by the phone, cause your voice always helps me to not feel so alone. But I feel like an idiot, working my day around the call, but when I pick up I don't have much to say. So I want you to know it's a little fucked up that I'm stuck here waiting, at times debating, telling you that I've had it with you and your career. Me and the rest of the family here singing Where'd You Go?
I miss you so. Seems like it's been forever that you've been gone. Where'd you go? I miss you so. Seems like it's been forever that you've been gone. Please
Come back home, you know, the place where you used to live. Used to barbecue on burgers and ribs. Used to have a little party every Halloween with candy by the pile. But now, you only stop by every once in a while. Shit, I find myself just filling my time with anything to keep the thought of you from my mind. I'm doing fine, and I'm planning to keep it that way. You can call me if you find that you have something to say, and I'll tell you, I want you to know it's a little fucked up that I'm stuck here waiting, at times debating, telling you that I've had it with you and your career. Me and the rest of the family here singing Where'd You Go?
I miss you so. Seems like it's been forever that you've been gone. Where'd you go? I miss you so. Seems like it's been forever that you've been gone. Please come back home.
I want you to know it's a little fucked up that I'm stuck here waiting, no longer debating, tired of sitting and hating and making these excuses for why you're not around and feeling so useless. It seems one thing has been true all along, you don't really know what you got till it's gone. I guess I've had it with you and